Hiya, and welcome back to Homecoming Morenatsu Revisited. The game that teaches us that all my saves are broken. They're all broken! All of them! With the exception of 2! All my saves are dead! Except 2! Like, let me show you this. Let me make sure. It's dead! It's dead! It's dead! Oh, don't mind me. I'm just losing my mind. I'm not actually mad about it. Oh, you ate them? God damn it. Why? Because I'm using the outdated build? Yeah, but you didn't eat 2 of them! I win! Except I still don't. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna cry. We're gonna die, probably. Yeah. The love of my life. And Tora. And now, we have the chapter save, or the route save. While I was gone, it seems several tables were moved together so a buffet could be laid out. I scanned up and down for an available seat. Torihiko wanted me to sit next to him, but... Hey! Hands off my meat, Kuri! Daw, you're no fun! Was Konosuke trying to jerk Torihiko off? Wait, what? It looks like Konosuke beat me to him. Well... I grab a clean plate from a nearby steak. I grab a clean plate from a nearby stack and join the buffet, picking out assorted meats and veggies from the variety in the center. As I travel deeper into the restaurant, I notice Kyoji and Soutarou sitting together near the back. Ah, there should be enough room for me back there, right? It's good of you to rejoin us, Hiroyuki! Kyoji claps his hands together and smiles when he sees me approach. Oh, I scratch behind my ear. Was I gone that long? Taro thought you might have passed out from all the stress in there. Mr. Takahara! I never said that. Soutarou flails around, desperately trying to prevent Kyoji from saying anything else. The older dog gives a light chuckle, seemingly proud of the reaction he got. Why don't you sit with us, Hiroyuki? I'm sure Taro is dying to finally get a chance to talk to the infamous Trickster Fox. Ha ha. I fake a laugh as I grab an empty chair and move beside them. Kyoji's really laying into me today. Now I'd usually take it in stride, but having a new face at the table is making me feel a bit more self-conscious. I take a deep breath as I lower myself down, curling my tail around my ankles. Notice I'm staring directly into my plate and trying to recompose myself. I'm not that intimidating, am I? I accidentally make direct eye contact with Soutarou. I'm like... Shit. We stole his soul! Or he's stealing our soul. He quickly glances away, which only serves to make me feel more awkward. Now he looks like he'd rather be anywhere but here. I freeze up, which Kyoji seems to notice. All kidding aside, Hiroyuki is one of my oldest friends. I know for a fact you two have a lot in common. He claps his hands together and smiles. I'm sure you'll get along famously. I can feel my cheeks flaring up as Kyoji says this. Juichi, clear my schedule. I have a couple to make. Somehow hearing him say that I'm one of his oldest friends make me feel even more embarrassed than before. Still, there's something reassuring about hearing that. Suddenly, Soutarou jumps from his seat, which in turn makes me jump too. Curse my fox genetics. I hate being so skittish all the time. Is that Kobe beef? He's pointing at something on my plate. The brain takes a moment to register what's happening. Oh! Yeah, I got that from those plates over there. How did I not notice that? I'll be right back, thank ya! Soutarou gets up in a rush and hurries towards the section I pointed him to. Kyoji just sits and smiles at me. That was unexpected. So, should I call you Mr. Takahara now too? The smile quickly fades from his face. Clearly the question caught him by surprise. Oh, please don't! Like I said, you're one of my oldest friends. That hasn't changed. Taro is just exceedingly polite. He chuckles as he turns back to face the lion, who returns to his seat with the spoils of his hunting session. Where I'm sitting, I can see his plate is overflowing with Kobe beef, and in his other hand... Wait, is that? Yep, it's oolong tea. I instinctively lick my lips. I love oolong tea. Where did you get that? From the bar, there's a few pitchers there for us. There should be plenty left. A wry smile crosses my face. Excellent. I have to stop myself from rubbing my hands together. Which I fail to do. I suppose from a certain point of view I look like a mad villain plotting his next evil scheme. Let me go grab some. As I'm getting up, I feel a hand grab my wrist. Stay here! I'll get a glass for you! You don't have to, I can get it myself. I insist! You're the guest of honor, after all! You should be treated well! Seeing that Kyoji won't take no for an answer, I sit back down. Thanks! He smiles at me as he gets up and heads towards the bar. I could swear he winked at me. I turn to face Soutarou, who's happily munching on some beef. I imagine that's the noise that Soutarou is making, just... I just imagine that that's the noise he's making. His face is noticeably less flushed than it was earlier. Now I'm starting to feel like Kyoji planned this. Got that He's doing the ungs. You can just hear his teeth chattering. Now I'm starting to feel like Kyoji planned this. So, you love Kobe beef and oolong tea, right? He struggled to swallow his food in time to reply. Yeah, definitely, they're my favorites. Are they yours too, Mr. Nishimura? Taken aback for a second. No one has ever called me Mr. Nishimura before. Or at least no one around my age. What a strange feeling. I thought his eyes were orange. I thought Soutarou's eyes were orange. Oh, they're amber. Hang on, let me actually put on my glasses, so that way I'm not blind. Even more than I already am. Okay, I'm actually gonna put on my glasses. That's literally orange! Alright, I'm wearing them and they're cold! They're cold! You don't have to... Of course cheese is better! Before I'm able to finish my sentence, a loud voice erupts from the other side of the table. What the hell kind of steak sauce is takoyaki? Cheese sauce is absolutely disgusting. You know that if you could cook something other than burnt pasta. Why, you little... Yeesh, that escalated quickly. When did that argument even start? Bring it on, you wuss! Then again, whenever Kuya and Tora are together in a room, they usually end up fighting over just about everything, so I can't say I'm really surprised. At least I cook! I don't need my mom to make me steak with takoyaki sauce. For what I can gather, they're arguing over steak sauce. I didn't think that was such a controversial topic. Oh yeah? Well, you can choke on that cheese sauce for like care, tiger boy. I prefer honey personally. Juichi's comment falls on deaf ears as the argument gets more heated. Take that back, asshole! Or I swear I'll slap a muzzle on that stupid mouth of yours, Wolfie boy! If that means I'll never have to eat your cooking again, then do it! Didn't your mother teach you to put your money where your mouth is? But at least my mom's around, unlike yours. Oof, that was a low blow, Kuya. Sorry. Isn't this a bit much, guys? Try to defuse the situation. This is starting to get out of hand. A loud clap echoes throughout the restaurant, causing everybody to turn their gaze in the direction of the bar. Kyoji stands with his hands clasped together. Is today the day you really want to spend fighting? If I recall correctly, we set up this party to celebrate Hiroyuki coming back to Minasato. Not fight over which condiments taste best, right? The two culprits seemingly cool down, by now no doubt realizing how dumb the argument was in the first place. They sit back down in their respective seats and stay quiet. Good! He walks back over to the table, placing a glass of delicious oolong tea into my hands. With a smile, he glances around at everyone. Now, why don't we make a toast? Sounds like a good idea to me. To what, though? Tatsuki seems like he's got one drink too many in him already. It's obvious, isn't it?
Hiroyuki's return, of course.
Kyoji claps his hands together, satisfied that almost everyone has picked up on it. Well, let's get started then. Wait. My glass is empty. The Tanuki hurriedly pours himself some lemonade, the liquid splashing and splattering all around the glass. Question. Is it lemonade or is it Sprite? I am actually curious. Is it lemonade or Sprite? But granted, my understanding of lemonade is wildly different to... I think it might be wildly different. Ramyun. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. He's not on screen. The Tanuki hurriedly pours himself some lemonade, the liquid splashing and splattering all around the glass. Alright! I'm good! Okay, if everyone's ready. He lifts up his glass and smiles. To Hero Yuki's return! Cheers! Sound of glass echoes throughout the restaurant. I gulp down my tea after the toast, and soon enough conversations start once again across the tables. Kyoji eventually makes his way back to a seat, slipping between Soutarou and I. Lin! I actually had ramyun not too long ago, actually. I had ramyun, yeah, not too long ago. While I was near, I was in another city, like, a few days ago, actually. Ramune. Well, I've been mispronouncing it. Ramune, I had some. I actually really like the melon flavor. Yeah, I really like the melon. Well, I've been mispronouncing it this whole time, my entire goddamn life. Yeah, I like the melon flavor. He leans in, a mischievous look on his face. And what about you two? What are your favorite steak sauces? My eyes open wide. Oh, this won't spark another argument. I'll humor him, though. Wait, do we like plain takoyaki or cheese? Damn. I actually prefer my steak without sauce. Soutarou beams at me. Oh jeez, just like me, Mr. Nishimura. Plain's the best. Sauces detract from the natural flavor. Don't you think so? I'm still not used to being called Mr. Nishimura, but I decided to let it go for now. Does blood count as steak sauce? Does like the blood count? It's only for the ritual. I like my steak kind of pink. It's kind of endearing, I'll admit. Yeah, I agree. Isn't that a bit boring, though? Being a bitch, though. Tora butts into the conversation with a disappointed look on his face. You've got to add some spice to your life, Hiroyuki. Come to my place sometime, I'll cook you some crazy-ass flavors. You'll never want to have just a plain steak again. Time and place, Tora. The looks on the other two's faces make it seem like they already know how it's gonna go.
Hero? Don't. Last time I went, he made soy and apple steak sauce. Apple sauce.
Apple steak sauce!
Last time I went, he made soy and applesauce steak. I still have nightmares about it.
Soy and apple steak sauce. I don't know. Because it tasted so good and you couldn't get enough of it before it was gone. Tora turns his attention across the table to Shun, who doesn't seem to back down. I'd be careful if I were you, Nishimura. Jeez, is it really that bad? Well, it doesn't matter in the end. Everything tastes good when you're in good company, right? Definitely. Admittedly, a somewhat naive take on things, but one I can wholeheartedly agree with. Indeed! We go back to our plates and eat in silence for a few minutes. My glasses are uncomfortable so far up my face, so I'm gonna push them down. There we go. Now I look like an old person. Kind of, not really. All around us, conversations continue between our other friends. Whether we meant to or not, it seems we're living up to Sotarou's ideal. A salt-flavored cake. Is that just a pile of salt? So, Kyoji. He stops watching the others and turns his attention to me. You play soccer with Soutarou. Is that right? That's correct. It's how we met, in fact. I used to play soccer back in my old school, so when I moved to Minasato, it made sense I joined the soccer club. I think I remember them mentioning Soutarou being new to Minasato. Wonder where he used to live before he moved. His first day on the team, he didn't say much, but he played incredibly well. The team was more than happy to have him. Of course, nowadays you can't get him to stop chatting. Mr. Takahara! Looks like Kyoji enjoys teasing Soutarou. I guess I'm just a new victim now that I'm around again. If Kyoji says you're good at soccer, it's a big compliment. I'm gonna take these off. I'll put them back on after stream, but I promise I'll put my glasses back on after stream, but I gotta take them off. Because they're fucking my ears. Kyoji says you're good at soccer. It's a big compliment. Back then, he used to be a terror on the field. The other teams were scared of him. I give Kyoji a light nudge on the shoulder. Soutarou beams when he hears me talking about Kyoji's past as a soccer player. Yeah, I know. I need to find better frames. How I stay protected against the evil eye steal are simple. I have eyelids. I can just close my eyes. It's strange, talking about our shared past to someone who hasn't lived it. I can really feel the 5 years of absence. Ain't that right, Kyoji? He rubs his nose and smiles. That's one way to put it, for sure. I don't know if I'm all that impressive, though. He chuckles when he says that, but his tone doesn't seem very lively. I remember Kyoji always being excited to talk about soccer, but maybe 5 years of constant practice has made it more routine than anything else. Anyway, enough about soccer. Do you know some of the others also participate in clubs, Hiroyuki? Like Konosuke? No. Not Konosuke Obayuan. His chronic tardiness would make club activities hard to manage. Yeah, I can't imagine any club willing to put up with that. But as you can see from the camera strapped around his neck, he still spends a good deal of time taking pictures. It seems he enjoys it more than anything lately. For as long as I could remember, Konosuke's brought his camera everywhere he's gone. Some things never change, even after 5 years. How about Kuya? He never had an interest in them, he just heads straight home. Really? That's surprising. He seems pretty in shape for someone who doesn't do sports. Mr. Tatsuki would be a really good addition to the soccer club. I agree with you, Taro, but I think he prefers to spend his time practicing guitar. He's become quite good at it over the years. What about Shun? Shun has many familial responsibilities now that he's 18. He has to attend religious ceremonies, be trained in the family's traditions, and eventually has to take over when his grandfather passes away. Mr. Tatsuki isn't in the fanfiction club. Even if he weren't busy, he'd probably spend most of his time playing video games. Yeah, that's Shun for you. Juichi is part of the judo team now, and Torihiko has joined the swimming team. I hear both are doing very well in their respective clubs. Huh, that explains why they're so fit now, especially Torihiko. Juichi and judo makes sense. He was always the one throwing Tora around back then. What was it that got Torihiko into swimming, though? I'm not quite sure. I wager he decided to do this for his own health. Or maybe he had someone he wanted to impress? Yeah, it's Konosuke. It's a Kounosuke. No, that's Liam. What? You think he's got a girlfriend? Well, like I said, I'm not sure. I never really thought about Torihiko getting involved with someone. And again, that makes a lot of sense. We're almost adults, so I suppose a lot of the guys have had experiences by now. Probably the only one who hasn't. He'll have something cool that makes him stand out. Unlike me, I'm just a plain old nobody. No hobbies unless you count watching anime and playing video games. No wonder I've never had anyone interested in me back in Osaka. Are you okay, Mr. Nishimura? Yeah, why did I just space out mid-conversation? Sorry. I'm not used to talking this much anymore, so I kind of lost track of what was going on. Rubbed the back of my head awkwardly. Anyway, what were we talking about? Were we talking about the soccer club earlier? Now that he mentions it, I noticed that Kyoji definitely led us away from that topic. Were we? I always do this, Mr. Takahara. What do you mean, Taro? You always switch topics and you gotta talk about yourself. Oh, I get it. Kyoji's more shy than he lets on. For once, it seems Kyoji doesn't have the upper hand when it comes to teasing. You wouldn't know it because he never mentioned it, Mr. Nishimura, but Mr. Takahara is the best captain the soccer team has ever had. Nonsense, Taro! You haven't been here for very long. How would you know that? Everyone in the club says so, of course. Kyoji is obviously a bit bothered by the lavish praise Soutarou is showering him with, but I'm enjoying the sight of the teaser being teased. Back in the day, nobody in our group could even come close to touching Kyoji. He was like lightning on the field. Pshaw! Try to make a sound resembling a lightning bolt with my mouth while gesturing wildly with my arms. Soutarou chuckles at my grand display, but Kyoji merely fidgets in his seat. I'm nothing special. Oh! Okay, first off, fuck you. Just first, fuck you. And second, yes, I forgot again. And yes, my mind has been fucked again. I'm nothing special, really. I'm only doing what my father would have wanted. He takes a moment to think before speaking again. And the whole team is relying on me to perform well, so I can't let them down. Especially a young, wide-eyed prodigy like Taro here. Mr. Takahara. He's flailing his arms again as Kyoji laughs under his breath. Seems poor Soutarou can't handle being teased. Seems like you've become the dad of the group, haven't you? He stops laughing and looks at me surprised. Did I say something weird? I mean, it's because you're so fatherly now, someone we can trust. I didn't mean to imply you look old or something. Instead of being angry, Kyoji lights up and rubs his nose. Well, I don't know if I'd put it like that, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thanks, Hiroyuki. Notice Soutarou fidgeting in his chair, looking almost uncomfortable. I hope I didn't say something stupid. At that moment, I hear a yelp coming from my left. That's it! I've had it with you! Wow, Shun being this angry is pretty rare. I wonder what happened. I'm gonna release my overdrive on your ass, Tora! Prepare your asshole for my fist! On closer look, I can see his face is covered in something. Is that... tomato? In one fell swoop, he grabs a giant spoonful of veggies from his plate and then throws them at Torihiko with surprising accuracy. Too slow, pipsqueak! But with even more surprising agility, Tora ducks and the veggies splatter on the wall behind him. You missed! You'd think playing video games all day would make you better at aiming. I've got you right where I want you. What? As he says that, Shun grabs the bottom of his plate and flips it in one smooth motion. The plate lands right on top of Tora's head, splattering the very sticky sauces and vegetables all over his clothes and fur. You! Tora grabs his own plate and tries to do the same thing to Shun. What? Watch out! But instead of hitting Shun, the plate lands square in Shin's lap. Oh crap. Shin stands up looking both confused and extremely angry. I'm only going to ask this once.
Why did you throw this at me?
With each word, Torihiko tries to make himself smaller and smaller. Well, it wasn't meant for you. You see, Didn't you ever learn you're not supposed to play with your food? His ice cold tone sends a shiver down my spine. The tiger jumps upright and stands still, almost as if he's being drilled by a sergeant. No, sir! I'm sorry, sir! I shouldn't have played with my food, sir! Shin lets out a deep sigh and starts walking towards the bathroom. Whatever. Just help me clean this up. Tora instantly relaxes. It's obvious to all of us that he got off pretty light. In an act of petty revenge, Shun wipes his face off with Torihiko's napkin while he's gone. Excuse me, I'll be right back. Soutarou rushes over to check on Shun. Huh, I didn't expect that. I'm glad to see he's made friends with the others. Me too! I was afraid he wouldn't open up to anyone at first. What do you mean? Well, like I said earlier, when he moved me to Sato, he was a very quiet kid. With good reason. Noticing my confused expression, Kyoji leans in closer. How do I put this? The reason him and his mother moved me to Sato is because his father passed away 3 years ago. Oh geez. I don't know how to react. I sit in front of Kyoji, mouth agape. My mind wanders to my own father. Can't imagine what that's like. From what he told me, his father died in a work-related accident. His mother decided to move to the countryside because she couldn't handle living in the city anymore. Poor Soutarou. He really hides it well. That's why I decided to watch over him, so to speak. He joined the soccer club of his own volition. It helps that he has quite a lot of talent for the sport. Can't wait to see him in action. He has heart. I want to see him succeed and move past this tragedy. As he says this, I can see a lot of conviction in his eyes. I see. Enough to make me believe that the two of them could move mountains together if they wanted to. I'm sure you guys can work through it. If you ever need help, Hey, so what'd I miss? Kyoji leans back, leaving me dumbfounded. Hiroyuki and I were just talking about you, actually.
Eh?
I hope you're saying good things, Mr. Takahara. He chuckles, but the way he's running his hand through his hair betrays his embarrassment. I take a sip of my tea so I can look elsewhere. Of course! In fact, he wanted to come watch us practice tomorrow. Isn't that right, Hiroyuki? I choke on my drink. Struggling to breathe, only various sounds and gurgles come out of my mouth. Soutarou stares at me with wide eyes while Kyoji looks on in amusement. I mean, yeah! I'd love to watch you guys play soccer tomorrow! Yay! Are you sure about that, Mr. Nishimura? Soutarou looking down at his hands as he shuffles his feet. I swear I caught a glimpse of red on his cheeks. It's not that I don't want you to come, don't get me wrong. I just don't want you to be bored or anything. Oh, don't worry about that. I used to watch Kyoji play all the time back then. Well, if you want to, I don't mind. He looks up as he says that, and now I can see just how flushed he is. He's a lot more shy than I first thought. Great! I'll be there tomorrow, then. I smile at him, and he smiles back. You move fast, Hiroyuki! That moment, Tatsuki's voice echoes throughout the restaurant. The giant comes lumbering towards us, swaying side to side with each step. Tatsuki, are you drunk? I'm not drunk. You are. I only drink tea. He stops for a second, and I can clearly see the gears in his head turning. Eventually, they stop, and he steps forward again. You've got some moves, little dude. Huh? Look over at Kyoji. Are you sure he's allowed to drink? Kyoji merely shrugs his shoulders and smiles, clearly enjoying the scene. It's fine, I'm old enough to get a bit tipsy. He seems more than just tipsy. I start looking around for help since Kyoji clearly isn't interested in doing so. I can see Sotarou's looking very uncomfortable right now. You just got back and you're already setting yourself up for a date? What are you talking about? Don't blow smoke about face and tell me it's raining. I don't even... What does that even mean? Everyone could see you and Soutarou eyeing each other from back there. I'm like making all sorts of faces while I read this. Oh no. I can tell Sotarou's not liking this one bit by how much he's leaning away from the giant dragon. You're planning on taking Hiroyuki home, huh? What? You were asking him on a date. Don't lie to me. No, you're wrong. I was just... Tatsuki suddenly slams his fist down on the table, making both of us jump out of our skin. Well, I won't have it. Maybe you're a good match, but I don't care. Everyone's looking at us now. Hero's mine, damn it. What? That's right. He's all mine and I don't want to share. I'm completely frozen. He's uncomfortably close, and meaning I can smell the alcohol in his breath. Let me go! Does he even know what he's saying anymore? Come on, Tatsuki! You don't really mean that. Of course I do. Let me prove it to you. Kyoji finally decides to get up from his seat as Tatsuki starts to slide off his vest. Alright, big guy. You should probably leave the matchmaking to me! I think it'd be better for all of us if you went back to your seat. Don't you agree? No, you're no fun. And just as abruptly as he arrived, Tatsuki leaves. That was... uncomfortable. Take a look around the restaurant. Looks like he's decided to bother Shun at the moment, much to his dismay. Thanks for finally doing something, Kyoji. He claps his hands together. Everything was under control, Hiroyuki. I just wanted you to see what we have to deal with. Are you okay, Taro? Yeah, no worries. I'll live. He seemingly breaks out of the trance he's been in ever since Tatsuki left. Does that happen often? Often enough that we've learned how to deal with it. And live with it, I suppose. I see. I know where he's coming from on this. Dad can be quite a handful when he drinks too. Sometimes it's just easier to avoid them than to confront them. I apologize for not intervening earlier. I must admit I enjoyed watching the two of you get so flustered. Mr. Takahara! How could you? Yeah, we nearly died. Don't be so dramatic. I stopped him before he went too far, didn't I? Kyoji turns towards Soutarou, who's still reeling from the experience. However, I do agree with Tatsuki on one point. Huh? The Labrador claps both his hands together and smiles wider than before. You two make a great match! Wouldn't you agree? Mr. Takahara! Make eye contact with Soutarou, which makes things even worse. How does Kyoji know I'm... Is Soutarou? I've got to say something fast. That's not true, right, Soutarou? Kyoji smiles silently at us, clearly enjoying every second. Yeah! I've only just met Mr. Nishimura. I like him, but not like that. Ugh. Stop this. Stop it. You're only making it more awkward. I mean, not like romantically. I mean, as a friend. I like him as a friend. Right, yeah. Same, yeah. Smooth, Hiroyuki. Well, friends is a good start. Kyoji claps both his hands together. Glad to see you both agree. Mr. Takahara? Perfect! I'm glad this meeting went well. I expected no less from the both of you. You sly dog. Finally hits me what Kyoji was trying to do. I smirk at him and shake my head. No need to try something like this. I guess this means we're friends now, huh, Soutarou? I guess it does. He reaches out a hand for me to shake. Nice to meet you. I'm vaguely aware of my tail wagging behind me as my hand meets his. The party carries on for a couple more hours. I spend the time catching up with Kyoji and getting to know Soutarou better. I've missed being able to be myself like this. Press R to equip the bestie. No. Pills to make your head small. Fucking pills to make your head small. I forgot his name for a second. Takeshi. Fucking right? Okay, Kazuo has no right being as hot as he is. Kazuo has zero right being as hot as he is. Oh my god! Fuck! Kazuo? We're on Soutarou's route. Kazuo, I need you to listen to me carefully. I cannot say that. Unless I want to do a whole gag where it's all censored. Do I want to do a gag where the audio's censored? You know what? Fuck it. Kazuo? Kazuo. Kindly. I need you to bend me over and... They stare at me expecting an answer, but... I'm sorry, guys. I just got back. I'm trying to familiarize myself with the town again. No, don't apologize. You're a guest here, and you only have so much time in Minasato before your vacation is over. I understand. Yeah, it's totally cool, dude. There's a lot of work to do, but we've dealt with worse before. Go do what you have to do. Though, don't forget about us, aight? I expect you to visit every day. Every day? That's right. Now get out of here. Go enjoy your vacation. I bow my head to them. Thanks, guys. Tell Torihiko I said hi. We will. I wave at them and leave through the front door. Oh, hi there. I mentally kick myself as I continue to walk under the blistering heat of the summer sun. Why did I choose this over a broom? As much as I don't want to spend the next hour or so doing chores for Uncle Takeshi and Uncle Kazuo, perhaps I should have swallowed my pride. Maybe Takeshi's famed luck with women has something to do with the inn's air conditioning. With this heat, it could get anyone in the mood. Let out a heavy sigh and let my legs carry me to wherever. Come hither, my son! Come here. Come here. Alright, I got my cat. I'm holding my cat now. Ah! Don't stab me! Why are you like this? You and your murder mittens. Let out a heavy sigh and let my legs carry me to wherever. Ah! Damn it. Huh. Is that? Takes me a moment to realize who I'm looking at, but after breaking into a light jog, the figure comes into better view. Soutarou, the lion I'd met yesterday, is hunched over on the bus stop bench. I recognize the bright blue jersey against his light fur, and as I get within shouting distance, I can see the book cradled in his lap. Hey! The lion jolts away from his book, his head whipping around to look where the shout had come from. Mr. Nishimura? I can just barely make out the confusion on his face before it breaks into a smile of recognition. He folds the book, keeping a finger wedged between the page to mark his place and stands to wave. Really should have waited before getting his attention. It will get awkward rather quickly if he has to keep waving for another minute or so while I walk. I really didn't want to run right now. Kill me! Please! As I reach him, I hunch over and pant dramatically. The lion just gives me a smile of pity. Yeah, the humidity ain't really so great today. I'm about to respond when suddenly I notice the bench he was previously sitting on. Soft whimper escapes me, my ears flatten against my head. Do you mind if I... Make a loose, sweeping motion with my hand, gesturing towards the bench. Soutarou blinks, giving a sudden jolt, as if yanked from a deep thought. Hastily sits back down, attempting to balance himself on the edge. Oh, of course, sorry. My son is trying to murder me. I pathetically sink down onto the bench beside him and attempt to catch my breath. As I regain my breath, the crow cries out from above. Okay, now the heavy breaths are just for show, but I have no idea what to say. Kyoji said that Soutarou and I were friends now, sure, but I'm still at a loss as to how to break the ice with this new guy. Why did it have to be so awkward? So, did you come here to join us for practice? I stare over at him, tilting my head to the side. Mr. Takahara said you might have other things lined up when we left the restaurant yesterday. Oh shoot, that's right! I was so excited to go see Tora, I completely forgot about Kyoji's invitation. Rubbing the back of my head, I cast a guilty glance over at Soutarou. That was today, wasn't it? The lion smiles at me and nods. Yeah, but it's alright. I mean, it is really hot outside. Flash an embarrassed grin and give a quick nod. I don't see how you can handle it and while chasing a ball around, no less. It ain't so bad when you're actually playing. I nod in agreement. To be honest, I have no experience with soccer, but I want to keep the conversation going. Once again, I notice a book he is holding. So, what are you reading? The smile on his face widens a little. No, it's just a manga I picked up. I'm pretty late on it, but... He holds the book out to me and opens it to where his finger had been holding place. The black and gray panels show a feminine-looking monster running alongside a brick wall that has been pockmarked by gunfire. It's really good so far. The series is supposed to be completed by the end of the year. I don't recognize this one. What's it about? Soutarou flips the book closed, no longer worried about preserving his place and points at the title on the cover. It's called the God Link. Basically, this programmer figures out how to make artificial intelligence and puts it in an app for raising digital pets and stuff. Oh, I can see where this is going. The whole monsters in your pocket craze has made its way to smartphones. So the pets start coming out into the real world. I nod my head, leaning forward in interest. And then God sends down his army to kill everyone on the planet unless the pets and the developer are executed. Wait, what? My outburst gets a soft chuckle from the lion, and he pats his book excitedly. Yeah, it's really good, especially if you really like violent monster fights. Well, now, I was honestly thinking you weren't going to show up, Hero Yuki! I barely have time to register who has snuck up behind the bench before a bottle of something delightfully cold is pressed into my hands. I knew it was a good idea to buy an extra bottle. Oh, here's yours, Taro. Kyoji tosses the bottle towards Soutarou, the lion catching it with a smile. Thanks, Mr. Takahara. I appreciate it. I wish my manners were as good as Soutarou's, but my instinct sees me as soon as the condensation on the plastic bottle soaks my fingers. Energy drinks are perfect thirst quenchers on a hot day like today. Perhaps I should have bought more. Look over at him as I finish off my bottle, only to widen my eyes. Great, now I'm choking. I see. Well, the bus should be here in just a few minutes. Will you be joining us, Hiroyuki? I feel Sotarou's hand thump me on the back twice, only for him to slightly recoil. I already felt the lake that formed on the back of my t-shirt. Thanks! Now able to breathe properly, I look at Kyoji and nod. Sure, I don't have anything better to do. The bus arrives a few minutes later and the three of us board. We each take a ticket and move to our seats. The air conditioning on the bus is heavenly. I know I complained about it yesterday, but that was before I realized just how hot it was. Taking a breath, I glance over at Kyoji. So are we going to a big practice today? I'd rather not stick out too much. Kyoji meets my glance with his own before shaking his head. Not at all. Today isn't a group practice. We just like to practice on our own. I nod, glancing over at Soutarou. He's sitting in the seat directly in front of Kyoji, eyes fixed on the pages of his manga. Aside from the three of us, the only other person on the bus is the driver. I see. Did you get a lot done like that? Turning my attention back to Kyoji, I watch as he chuckles and slumps down into a comfortable position in his seat. He drums his index finger on his stomach in an almost thoughtful gesture. Taro and I often spend hours not saying anything, but just working our passes up and down the field. I smile and give another nod, taking the opportunity to adjust myself into a more comfortable position too. Kyoji and Soutarou must be totally in sync to be able to practice without words. In a way, I kind of envy the two of them. I've not had anything like that, not since I moved to Osaka anyway. I can still see the top of Sotarou's head. Even in this relaxed position, he's still utterly lost to everything outside his book. Whatever's happening within those pages must be very intense, probably something that other countries would find blasphemous. Through the windows, the countryside that characterized Minasato has morphed into a fully paved highway. Even still, the lazy ambience of the bus is unbroken by the world outside. It seems that not too many drivers are traveling to Kazunari this way today. Is school even open today, or are we just jumping the fence? My question is only met with silence as I watch a beat-up red pickup truck putter alongside us. I can just barely hear the light snore of the dull sound of the bus's engine, but it still drags my attention away from the elderly hair driving the pickup. Huh? Kyoji is slumped further into his seat, hands clasped over his stomach. His mouth is slightly agape. I'm caught so off guard at the sight of the sleeping dog. I sit upright in my seat before leaning towards Soutarou. Psst, Soutarou. Lion's ears perk up when he hears his name whispered, and he turns sharply, as if called on by a teacher. Catches his eyes and motion towards Kyoji, fighting back the chuckle that was threatening to emerge. Wouldn't want to wake him just in case he gets grumpy. Oh, don't worry. Sotarou's voice drops to a whisper to match mine as he glances over at Kyoji's slumped form before turning back to me. He always falls asleep on the bus. Smiling and waving his hand in dismissal, the lion relaxes back in his seat and returns to his book. Always, huh? Doesn't seem like a light nap to me, considering the deep rise and fall of his chest. Someone clearly woke up much too early. But then again, that's always been Kyoji. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.